and then there were 2. We started with 4 regions of action across this main stage portion of College Conference 2023 season. There were open teams that also competed to try to get to the LCQ. And now, as we had 8 teams on LAN, we're down to just the finals. It's a repeat from what we saw, not just in the groups, not just in the winners finals. It's the 3rd meeting here between Oklahoma Christian and the heavy favorites Northwood.
It sure is, Alan. These guys have a lot of experience versus one another up to this point, but Northwood has been able to get the best of them every single time. However, it'd be a different story now coming off of a win the way that they just did.
Yeah.
Have to carry that momentum into this series, but most importantly, I feel like it starts with this map 1 coming out with a strong start. Have to see more than one hardpoint win if they're going to somehow take this grand finals.
Absolutely the case, because it's not just take this grand finals in terms of winning one best of 5. The format here is a reset potential if Oklahoma Christian do find a way to win the first series. They're going to have to do it twice. And kind of going off the mantra, we've shared this a couple of different times. Oklahoma Christian are saying, and even in that last interview you had, we need to win the 2s and the 5s and then steal a respawn somewhere. I just don't see a world here where Oklahoma Christian can do that not once but twice. That's the biggest problem. So those are the things for us to consider. But, of course, if you're just joining us in here for the grand finals, it's time to introduce our squad, starting off with the team that won in the winner's bracket. It's the Northwood Timberwolves.
Fell. You would have to hit a remarkable quick scope or absolutely pistol with somebody. Off to the scope. Tried to go for the no scope. Good. Second chance. Okay. That's a hell of a read.
That sound's gonna be hot. Gecko down low.
What?
Doesn't win the gunfight. In the next on the exit. No way. Dak gets away with the 1v3.
This Northwood team doesn't just come in as the favorite under the upper bracket with the advantage here of having to be bested twice, but Bacon Infinite are also back, they won last year, so they're looking to go back-to-back as well. Big things on the line here for Northwood as Dak and Mock have been great additions to this team.
Oh, man, they've been fantastic this weekend. It feels like we've had a lot of individual games where Dak has completely won it for his team based off of his performance, right? At the very beginning, on top of the broadcast day 1, we said this is the team that has the fastest sub-duo, and it has shown up to this point.
Yeah, this has just been one of those things that for Northwood, the team was nasty last year. Feels like it almost got nastier this year. Maybe not initially. I think the biggest thing is for Bacon Infinite, this has been a very successful season for them, not just over the CCL, but also what they've done in Challengers. They've been great. So lots of things kind of favoring Northwood, but this Oklahoma Christian team has had a chance to see this Northwood team twice now here at LAN. Let's have a chance to introduce and meet the Falcons.
Turn around. Oh, he's going to get a little bit of help here, or so you thought. Splody just kind of bounces past him, and Frosty gets pulled. Oh, it's a cheeky play, and Texas State will not love watching the stream back and seeing that.
I know there's only 15 seconds left here, and Oklahoma Christian just wisely backing away for the hard point, which is arguably the most money kill we have here potentially in Modern Warfare 2.
Oh! Pardon me, the Eagles. Too many birds. Too many bird mascots coming through here. Cruz, here's the thing about this, this team in particular. Cruz, Frosty, and Gus, kind of the same situation. Frosty's had a great year, so we start to look at this team with more favor because of what he's done through Challengers. But Cruz, this is his 2nd year now in North America, coming back from after when he was here for Cold War. He's taken more of that leader role. And for a player like Ray, who's not really, he's kind of like the odd man out, right? Of the 8, he doesn't really compete in Challengers, not the same level as the other guys. That is a big duo that needs to really shine here in this grand final.
It does. And, yeah, specifically Ray, top right. If you can just find a way to get more trades, or, again, like I talked about this with Proper, the fact that it feels like sometimes he's isolated and he's not winning his ones, slow down a little bit. Wait for your teammates. Let's get some hand-holding going, right? That's what's going to be critical, I think, if they're going to find a way to match this sub-pressure duo, because that's how they're going to have to find a win, especially in the respawn.
Here we go. This is our first best-of-5 series set. Embassy for the opening hardpoint, Asilo for the surge. That's going to be a nice place for Oklahoma Christian to go back to after what they just did previously. Hotel for the control, Fortress hardpoint, and then another hotel if we need it for a map 5. This is an interesting map set because we really haven't seen a lot of Embassy hardpoint being played, although I will say we've seen it more from Northwood than anybody else this weekend. They've looked really good on it.
They have, and their P1s, I think, have been the reason why they've looked so good. I mean, you go back to what we saw versus the Dragons. Yesterday, they were finding about 30 seconds every single P1 hill, and it's because of their high ground control, because of their AR pressure. We'll see if it comes to light here again. You need something out of Oklahoma Christian, especially to kick off the series hot.
And how about it? First 3 kills start to come through, so Northwood bounced off the first hard point early. Oklahoma Christian starting to earn some time of their own. Rotation coming out for the Timberwolves down the bottom part of the minimap. looking to flood back through window side, trying to control at least the high ground, and yeah, well done here for Northwood. Full clearance comes out, they're right back on the hill.
Frosty, though, he's on top of some of that high ground. Pressure on the point, won't find Mock. That's going to be a great reaction out of him. Make sure P1 time is still going over. 15 seconds up for grabs. Mock puts together a second, and now we start to look at this rotation to new, where you can already see Northwood are set up.
Bink trying to lock down one side. Not really in position to get a read, though. Ray, critical double comes around the back. Mock throws a couple of shots his way, but he's going to get taken down. What a start from Ray. 4-1, 3 in a row. Oklahoma Christian. They keep Northwood from even getting onto the hard point, and how about it? They've got the numbers to get in themselves. Infinite off the region, trying to fight back. Gets a look at Ray, finds the kill. Crew's at least able to confirm one trade on the opposite side of this hit, but the hard point goes neutral, and now Northwood start to find the kills they need to get in.
Yeah, it's a full wipe. That's going to end up coming on in. It's going to force some deep spawns over by Tennis, and now you're going to have to try to send this one more time, but you also have to start to think about this rotation because you have the luxury to play for it if you're Northwood. Good pressure to the back from Bink. Big gunfight, though, will get help up top, and somehow, while stunned, still able to come up with that kill onto Frosty. This is really going to hurt them early. Northwood Esports able to come away with the majority of time on P2.
Yeah, small edges right there in that early fight for P2 led to Northwood just kind of keeping their control the whole way around. So now for Oklahoma Christian, have to make life difficult in the exits, and those 3 kills will essentially do just that. Frosty trying to look over the top of Xbox, can't quite find the player inside the hardpoint, and hold on a second. Northwood, they're going to get a majority of the scrap time, and they're winning rotational gunfights over towards servers. It's going to be number 6 at Infinite that's going to hop onto the hardpoint here. He's got a trophy system down in front of him. But the thing about it is he's got a lot of help around him, and Oklahoma Christian just do not have a setup to give this an early threat.
Oh, Infinite, he's on 5 in a row. 0-2 start for him, but he is back in the mix, ready to find Cruz up close. Shot's going to come through. Cruz missile will be earned now for Infinite. And, well, he can start to get some more work done. Everyone coming off of spawn here for Oklahoma, just running right into Infinite as he just mows them down. Might get a chance to reset, but no. Gus over the top will find him. However, can they utilize the pressure to get into the point? They're still player 5. Fox looking for it, and there it is. Ray gets the job done.
Ray is having the best map right now out of everyone for Oklahoma Christian. Talk about trying to build some confidence. If he can be the spark for this squad, who knows? Maybe. Infinite gets the scrap time. 10 seconds of time to fight for. He'll get it without too much cause for concern. Now it's onto the rotation. Eagles already in position around admin. Hardpoint not open yet, though, so they will not be spawning fully in. Cruz will be nearby. He's trying to lock down the hallways, but the threat on the interior already good. It's Infinite. I mean, Vaznev in one hand, Tack in the other. He's looking like Rambo out there, just shooting both at the same time, and Northwood get the early setup.
Yeah, one gun in each hand at the moment for Infinite. I mean, he's been great. Streak is earned. He's putting on the pressure. He's breaking open hills, and he's finding the tough gun fights. That's the most important part of all of this. And now Northwood again starting to circle around the point, getting a little bit of room to work with. Oklahoma struggling to find the breaks, and it's because a lot of the time it's not really happening together. There's a moment here to try to set up some kind of coordination to break in, but all the kills around the point, all going the way of Northwood. This looks like another lockdown hill, and that will be the case.
Northwood is just flying right now. Just every kill you're seeing seems to come from out of a Vaznev. Big try to put some influence over towards Kitchen early. Lots of tags come out. He almost gets the regen, but Oklahoma Christian, once again, play a little recovery. But boy, we need to see more than just recovery right now. We need to see something convincing from the Eagles. 138-26 to tally. Oklahoma Christian will be in position to get the early time, but they have to hold this.
Sure do. Oh, Infinite. Just not losing gun battles, man. And he's just shotgunning people, it feels like, with his Vaznev. He's going to fly in, should expect a bait and a switch, and that will be the case. But back and forth we go. Cruz trying to hold on. Mock will finish him off. Still a chance to try to win the hard point, but no. Gus will drop. Pressure through mid. Bink gets the read. Doing it with the AR in hand.
Yeah, just stays prone, plays his life nicely, gets a free gifted gunfight, helps his team on the rebreak. 30 seconds to fight for here, and Oklahoma Christian only get 9 seconds off of their initial setup. And look at the pressure. I mean, Baka's just dancing with 2 different Eagles way outside the hardpoint. This is taking so much time. Even Ray gets baited into a gunfight, which he loses. I mean, come on. Northwood just looking too clean with it here on Embassy. This was the worry, I think, when we saw this pop up in the map set, was that Northwood were going to be able to kind of do exactly this to Oklahoma. That's not great news here for the Eagles.
I mean, Mock, he's just been alive here for like the last minute, it feels like. He's like, you guys go and hit the hill. I'll make sure that we are set up for P2. He's already thinking steps ahead. And, well, Northwood might be putting this one away a lot earlier than many of us expected, especially off the way. Oklahoma Christian come away from their last series, but only 38 points to speak of. P1 has been well opened up, and Northwood still soaking up more time.
That's another cruise missile earned as Bink gets to 6. So doesn't get any easier here for Oklahoma Christian. I mean, you have to slow down. This map is essentially done and dusted, but you need to start finding some team cohesion right here. Spock, I mean, he doesn't seem to have any more ammunition. He is out of ammo, just dancing with a knife, just saying, hey, look at me, look at me. And yeah, he's still running around down there. It takes all 4 Oklahoma Christian members to flush him out. And meanwhile, Northwood's finding time. One of the cruise missiles will be called in just to try to win rotation to do and put this game away quickly. And oh man, not the start for Oklahoma Christian that you were hoping for.
No, definitely not. Northwood have a chance to end it here, and well, let's call in the fireworks. Streak's gonna come through one by one. Hawk also able to find 2, and well, Gus drops, and just like that, the setup is broken.
Man.
Frosty inside the admin building has a chance to try to get something done. And well, Cruz and Ray do put together a couple kills, but the ARs through mid. Bink sets it up with a double. Infinite also has a chance to get himself inside, but will end up dropping, and now it's up to Bink to play his life.
Yeah, and this is just, man, abusive, really. Oh my God, what? I mean, Ray must have been weak from that gunfight versus Mock, but Bink just absolutely obliterates him. 5 seconds remaining. Oklahoma Christian will get in to at least see this go a little bit longer, but it feels like a moot point at this rate. I mean, 22-9 from Bink, 16-8 from Infinite. The engagements are unreal. The hard point time is being shared. And on the other side, I mean, Ray goes 12-19. That's one of the best KDs on Oklahoma Christian's side. They just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, Ray had a great start, right? It's the AR pressure. Just couldn't really match what we've seen so far at a Mock and Bink. 5 more seconds for the win, and well, we do see a nice transition off of the P2 hill. Oklahoma Christian really just trying to fight for 100 points, it feels like, at this point in time. Northwood Esports all down low, starting to swarm around the point, looking for a big break.
Ray gets one and tags up the other here, so Infinite can have a harder time breaking through, but still jumps on in. Gus looks the wrong direction. The pitch would have been good. Bink was right there to follow up in case that gunfight was not won. And that will be it. 250-71. Northwood Esports. Ruthless throughout map number 1. And to be fair, again, we haven't seen a lot of MC Hardpoint played, and that may be part of the reason why, because Northwood is real good at it.
Yeah, it's definitely one way you can say it. They are pretty good at hardpoint. And again, I think coming back to the point that I made is the fact that, you know, Oklahoma Christian have only won a single hardpoint so far on the day, and that was versus Fisher in that map number 1. So other than that, it feels like, you know, they've been trailing by about a hardpoint, if not more. In this case, they only get about a hardpoint worth of time, and a lot of that just comes by scrap time. So not what you want to see here, and it feels like any questions you might have asked about Northwood maybe being cold, sitting around waiting. Well, nope. No. They are fired up, ready to go as they grab that map 1 with ease.
Wow. Okay. Well, for Oklahoma Christian, at least you had a moment there at the end where you started to play cohesively. All 4 guys are working together, putting together kills. You get a little bit of confidence saying, okay, we're not getting completely smoked in every individual gunfight. We just have to play a little more collectively. Because, you know, I think, candidly speaking, if you're just tuning in, you might not know the players on either side, or maybe you do know a lot of these players. The one X factor here is Ray. Just flat out. He's, again, the sore thumb here. He's the guy that does not play challengers at the same level as everybody else. He's the guy that is, you know, being brought up by the rest of the guys around him. And he was the weak point in the winners finals. So Ray had a solid map. Started off fine, but man, I'll tell you, it's just Northwood put pressure on you everywhere all the time, all at once, it feels like. And the collective group of Oklahoma Christian just could not deal with it.
No chance to get it done there. 250-71. Lot of players getting amped up after that, as they know they just smoked them. And well, this is sometimes what happens, especially when you get 4 players at this caliber. It could be terrifying. And you know, the one thing that you'll always notice, especially when watching over the scoreboard here at the end, Alan, is the fact that the ARs will always have a lot of objective kills, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I always refer back to this sub-duo and their ability to play and roam around the point. They want to get Mock and Bink in there. Infinite does spend a good amount of time in the hill himself, but almost all of their hardpoint maps come by way of Mock, Bink, soaking up time, getting objective kills, and well, you just let Infinite and Dak run around, get you spawns, make some early map movements, and that's why it feels like they work so well with one another.
Quick maths, only 14 of the total kills for Northwood were traded. That's also a big problem.
I'm allowed to say that. I don't think.
Not often we get a chance to do caster math on broadcast, but that is a number that stands out and is easy to calculate. Boy, wow. That is convincing with a capital C. 250-71, map 1 score. But, it is a big but, I cannot lie. Asilo Search and Destroy comes up for map number 2 here, and all of you Team Mix-a-Lot fans are wondering if there will be a bit of a mix-up here for Oklahoma Christian coming off that hot round 11 win, of which they won 4 in a row.
They did win 4 in a row, but that's the thing. You have to remember that they were down 5-2, and they were kind of going back and forth for a little bit, but it felt like there were a couple situations that maybe weren't played correctly, but also I would say good reads for Fisher to build up those 5 rounds the way that they did. However, they did ice up. Gus went huge, and that was a defining moment in that overall map where they were able to start to put together rounds. So you need a moment like that maybe, especially watching over these guys from that losers final, Alan. Cruz is the guy that amps them up. When Cruz gets hyped up, the rest of them follow. That's what you need to try to get a quick bounce back heading into map 2.
It's easy to get fired up when you started your previous lower finals, map 5, 10-5. So maybe it is one of those things that Cruz just needs to kind of send it, see if you can get a hot hand early here, catch a little bit of fuego. But we're jumping on in. Oklahoma Christian starting off on the offensive side, looking to get themselves going right back into map number 2, and not a good start. Big Semtex lands perfectly into the lap of Cruz. Early 4v3 to the Northwood as they actually control the bottom side of the map as well with a very advanced position for Bach.
Rossi. Not going to get a read on Infinite. No sound cues come in for him to utilize, and well, right away, dropping into a 2 versus 4. Lots of time to play with. Lots of chances to try to win rounds. See if they can try to get it done. Gus has already shrugged back. Now we'll see how they decide to get through. They run right back out, and well, Northwood all around them.
There's one thing you need to know about Northwood is if they have space to grab, they will grab it.
They will.
As soon as an opening Semtex, as soon as an opening Semtex hits, Infinite's like, all right, I've got fences control. Then he gets the kill at fences. All right, I've got stairs control. And the entire time, the player playing over towards the top side of that tower never gets contact, and as soon as the kills come through on the other side, it's just, we're not going to give you any space. You have to work for every single kill against this Northwood team, and that's something that you should definitely come to expect as we continue forward on this map. A very good opening round from Northwood.
It's almost like they didn't learn their lesson. You go back to that round 11 that they played against Northwood. Frosty died first blood the exact same way, right? So you have to almost sometimes kind of wait for those nades. Decide not to. But chance to respond. Defense now here for Oklahoma. Pressure right onto the site. Ray's got a lot to do. Sun's nades all coming through. Nothing's going to tag him, so Infinite thinks it's safe. Can Ray put together 2? Just about gets it. Has to go for the reload, and Dak will challenge in. And right away, we drop it to a 2v2.
But watch out for Cruz. He's gotten around the back here. Bomb has not been collected yet for Northwood, and they are waiting to see if someone's going to hit this flank. Oh, and Big's going to get a freebie. Gus drops down, tries to confirm. The trade doesn't get the shots to finish the kill, though. And the bomb at the same time gets planted. Popping off his Dak. A couple of spam shots come through, and Dak just holds down the trigger. Blends him up in the doorway. Smiles to be had. Northwood go up 2-0.
Yeah, I think Bink was certainly on to Cruz. Cruz loves to hit the flank of Asilo. Loves to work through those back double doors, or at least through that top staircase. It's something he almost did literally every single round that we just saw in the lower final. Northwood very much onto it, and will make sure his play is not successful whatsoever. So Oklahoma Christian down 0-2 early. We've seen them get a lot of their rounds, especially in this map, usually in 2v3s, down a man. But you have to put something together here. Would love to try to get a first blood.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is just get numbers here early. Oh, they get stunned. They can't even make this play forward. Infinite's on top of the wall. He's got a Godheady. Follow-up nades will also still confirm that Frosty's in this position. A couple of shots exchanged, but once again, first blood tallied. Bach does get traded. That's a deep kill. But Infinite's just not done. I mean, no one can gun Infinite. Dak saves a life as Infinite needed to get the regen off, and Gus is just stuck top barbecue. And wouldn't you know it, he's the one getting smoked. Northwood up 3-0 early. Is in?
Oh, no, man. And listen, they try to change it up there. They try to go through the outskirts. They're thinking, okay, maybe Mock is kind of the solo island player that sometimes likes to play behind the rock. But you have to remember, Dak also loves to play in that area in Courtyard, and he's not the only one there that time. Infinite is also there to match, so it feels like they set up a bit of a hard counter, work through that 3v3 quite well, and then they get a great read on that push through where you feel obligated to chow out, see if you can try to tag up some of the weakened players. Just none of the kills fall through.
Yeah.
Man, Northwood, they are just steamrolling at the moment.
It really feels that way. Cruz looking to get aggressive early, but the nades, goodness, how good are the nades? Bink lands one right into Gus's lap for first blood. Cruz has to try to back away. He gets one, stuns his retreat. Semtex as well, but another nade lands. I mean, are they heat-seeking? Are they one of those Nerf footballs that have like the whistle mechanic built into it? Because they are launching these things. We still have a 2v2 though. Bob played it over towards B, and Mock will play the deep angle. He'll find one, and now it's all down to Ray. Does have dead silence for 1v2, and the double chell's in. Oh boy.
Might be a lot quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
This is
not good start.
4-0 right now, Alan. I mean, they're double challenging. Like, they're playing perfect Call of Duty, and, dude, like you said, the nades. The nades are landing between their feet over and over and over again, and I thought Cruz just about played that perfectly. Stuns himself back, throws a Semtex to make sure there's not an immediate chow, and then what can you do? No trophy system down, just a grenade thrown right over the top. Lands perfectly, and, I mean, this is also going to make you play a little bit different when you are dying like 1 to 2 times every single round to a Semtex or to a frag.
Trophy system down to keep Billiard safe. Lots of defensive nades come through. Okay, that was a bit of aggression from Northwood that gets stifled by Oklahoma Christian, but even still, we stay 3v3. Frosty pushing out into the bomb site, takes down a key elimination to Infinite. So we got a 3v2 situation. Bomb should be able to make its way on in towards A, but Bink is already eliminating the prospects of a post plant up top. And with the time, he may actually try to contest this bomb plant. This may work out timing-wise for him. Sees the rotation. Oh, man, this could get real nasty. This comes down to, does he see Gus first? He doesn't, but keeps his life, backs away, gets into tools.
Honestly, I'd love to see Bink just play for kills here, but Gus should find him. He will. So, able to get something on the board. Comes by way of Cruz getting fired up. We said how he was really one of the main members that you need to try to get this team sometimes back into the game. And, well, maybe that was the moment to do it. Gus with a good chow. They're able to eliminate the streak from Bink. But man, oh man, you got to keep throwing some different plays in, because that was just a round where Northwood were not respecting you. They were just seeing if they could keep getting away with what they've been getting away with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those, I would call that the Team Notorious strat. Everyone just throws defensive nades right to bottom billiards. Everyone pushes forward. Not everybody, but Eric Boom and Maple sure will. Shout out to all you challengers peeps tuning in. I know some of you guys are. 4-1 to tally. Oklahoma Christian still have to put together a handful, but we know they're good too. It comes down to finding the opportunities to make plays happen, and how about making plays happen? Frosty is already playing very far up. And, oh, actually, I thought he was going to go top office, but instead tries to burst through into checkers. Nades are nearby. Shots come through. He's looking for more. This is bold, and he doesn't get traded out. We go 3v3.
Good kill that comes through. Dak, just some great movement being shown there. Time to slow down if you want to. Northwood are still pinned pretty much in the back. It's also a nice little off angle that's being held from Mock, expecting someone to try to get aggressive, and Cruz has just found one, but Gus will also drop. Doesn't get any kind of an angle there at Mock. 2v2 we go, and Dak's going to pop the Deddy.
Oh, he thinks he can beat this timing here and catch Cruz off guard, and he very well may. Pops upstairs, Cruz caught. Only needed one more bullet. Again, that had to be nades landing. Ray almost still gets the lineup, but that had to be another nade that landed right on top of Cruz. He was a single bullet. And, you know, maybe it's one of those things that these are things that we come to expect, challengers, that everyone knows the pre-nades are, and everyone just stays away from them, largely speaking.
Right.
But at this level, you don't really have the comms going. You know, who knows how many scrims you're able to pull. You're also playing with different teammates than you play in challengers, and some of those timings aren't the same as what you normally practice and predict. So Northwood are getting away with a lot here, and it's mostly coming by way of utility.
It is. It almost feels like they're using like 3 frags and like 1 Semtex as well, right?
You're right. That's a good call.
Get some longer range in there. You can cook it up to perfection. So usually gonna get it where you want it to. See what happens for what could be the final rounds. And oh boy, Dak is ready to pounce. Bomb is down. Frosty caught the sight, but he gets a good read. Finds that trade, comes up with 2. Mock, though, will find Cruz, and now Frosty would have to get the ace.
Yeah, 1v2 for the ace at that. Finds the first cleanly, though. Tons of time to work with. He's about to get dead silence earned. Bink just playing outside this back door. Dead silence pop, and Frosty's not going to play for the bomb. He just plays for the kill, and it's red. Oh, man. I mean, I don't even want to know if I want to call that Bink read that. It's just more of like if he's going to rotate, he's going to come this direction. Otherwise, he's in a good position to chow top. And, you know, if the bomb does get planted today, I think he probably just hops up, checks second floor, and then drops down. But it's regardless a great position to be in. for that 1v1.
Sure is. And Bink found a kill through that side of the map as well, inside of soccer. So Frosty maybe thought he could catch him. Not the case, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy Allen, these maps are flying by, man. This is looking like what happened in day one, right? When we got to group stage, this was the very first match that we had on broadcast. Obviously, the maps were completely different, but the scorelines are not.
No. Well, actually, the scorelines are more convincing for Northwood. That's
Fair.
Jeez Louise, but I don't know. I mean, you hear it right there.
Says it all, man. Says it all.
Goodness, even with a little echo effect in the mix. I mean, golly. And man, it's so surprising because I was dead set on the fact that this bracket was going to be much closer than last year's. And Northwood have really put me in my place. I mean, they have really only had a couple of close maps, kind of. And the interesting thing, and you brought this up before we went on the air, Northwood never had to play Fisher either. The only opponent that they really played that was really worth their weight was this Oklahoma Christian team. And I don't know, maybe they just kind of ran out of gas here because the first winner's finals was really draining, I would think. And then, of course, you go through a very long Map 5 affair in the lower finals versus Fisher again. But Northwood looked pretty much primed to just walk away with this trophy, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be picking it up real soon if they keep playing like this. And, I mean, the other thing is that Northwood is a great control team.
Yes, they are.
So, you'd love to try to frame up how this is done, but Oklahoma Christian, unless these guys just all start completely frying, it feels like we are due potentially for a 3-0. You take a look at the scoreboard that just took place, and man, it's not even coming by like one person. Like, it's just everyone with 7-3, 7-5, 5-5.
Yep.
Like, everyone's just finding their kills, doing what they need to. But I'd love to know the stat on how many nade kills there were. It's probably half of them, you know?
Yo, for real, though. And the interesting thing, and this is one of the categories that I often, we look at and we put a lot of weight into, but this is actually an interesting conversation, is the first blood's relatively even, but think about how many first blood engagements were at least traded when Northwood were blooded first. They would always come away with the trade almost every single time. There was never a moment it felt like Oklahoma Christian were in a 4v3, except for maybe the one round that they won is really all I can think of.
That's it.
Yeah, so real tough scenes here for Oklahoma Christian, but who knows? A lot of life could still be left. It comes down to what we get out of the control, though, as we send things away to a break. But before we do, got to give a little bit more love here to our sponsors, both Fandom and, of course, Nelnet Bank, FDIC member. And the thing about it is, if you're looking to get involved with your collegiate pursuits, whether you're a high schooler looking to kind of pursue maybe the college COD or just the collegiate front, or if you're someone looking to join the college COD front and maybe pursue college as a more experienced life member, you can find out information on how Nelnet Bank can help you by going to nelnetbank.com. Welcome back, all you crazy COD fans, friends and family. We've got College COD Grand Finals on the docket, and so far, docket that's been handled and made for the agenda of Northwood University. It has been clean. It has been polished. There have been very little faults in the system to this point.
Yeah.
2 very convincing maps, and now we look to a control on hotel. Not exactly the maps that I think that you want here for Oklahoma Christian to close things out.
No, probably not, because talking to Cruz earlier in the day, he said, listen, I think we can be very competitive in the S&Ds, but we're going to be a little bit worried about the controls because Northwood is such a good control team. He was seeing it a little bit earlier as well. I mean, how many times did Dak get behind them to find, like, the freest 2-piece of his life? And this was also, the map where one of the players, Ray, really struggled to get anything going whatsoever. You're now down 0-2. The S&D did not go your way. That was the one you needed. Now you have to get the job done in a hotel control. Do or die right now. Could be the very last match of the evening, of the year, of the season for CCL. Unless Oklahoma Christian can show up in a big way.
Big way. They got 3-0'd here. You kind of alluded towards Ray not having the greatest of maps in that particular instance, but man, it's just there hasn't been a lot of leg room at all here for Oklahoma Christian. Now they start off on the offensive side. Straight through couches, looking to head over towards B. Focus towards mid-map to start, but Dak has already taken care of Frosty, so this cross is now under threat. Good opening from Ray on towards the zone itself, but Cruz is held back from being able to assist. Chases down a kill onto Infinite. Predicts the trade, but he predicts it incorrectly. And even though Gus is on the point for now, there's just not a lot of help here. Northwood already clear.
All right, they're starting to pick up Dak on some of those catwalk crosses. That was pretty much how we got the top bedroom every single time and surprised Oklahoma Christian. They're going to give up on the B point, but there are no defenders from Northwood Esports over by A. Should allow them to lock in, you would think, maybe that first tick, but they're certainly going to give it a go and try to play retake. Dun's going to slow them down for a moment. Now they got multiple members on the zone, and that second tick is on the way.
Here comes the attempt to break it, though. Dak from one side, the rest of Northwood from the other. Contact made. Infinite gets one. Trade comes through. Dak trying to surprise, but Cruz shuts it down. Bank. Oh, not quite able to get it done. And with that, Cruz will come away with 3 kills and the A zone. Put him in at 54 in the clock. We're tied at 23 live feet.
Moment here from Frosty in the back. Oh, what a win that is. If he can get himself inside of Spa, well, you really set yourself up for some success on B. But exits are clean from Bink. And, well, you're blocking luggage at the very back. So, yeah, sure, you got someone all the way through in Spa, but what's it going to matter if your teammates can't get out of spawn?
Oh, gosh. I mean, come on. They call it the snake pit for a reason. It's not kosher. It's not FDA approved, but that restaurant's infested. Infinite makes us known. 22 plays 17. Now down to a minute 25 in the clock. Opportunity, though, for Oklahoma Christian to try to fight back towards top bedroom, but the trades are just not there. An opportunity maybe for Frosty to turn the tides, and he will, so the status will start to stabilize just a touch. Oklahoma Christian also enjoying some proximal spawns, trying to hit this.
They deal with Infinite. Will reveal his position, but going to post up in another corner, and, well, you know how useful that corner is. Bink in the back, 5 in a row, now 1 off the streak. Ray going to give it to him, and, well, he wins the battle. So Bink will not earn the cruise missile as of just yet, but what can Dak do off the spawn? Those spawns still here for Northwood, but Dak is shut down, and now Infinite needs to get something done.
Oh, he does so much damage, but there's a trophy system in the way. Ray actually stays alive through that. He's going to join this double stack. Infinite looking for the next point of content, but Frosty flushes him out. Third tick of progress now on the way. Contest coming through. OC, they're going to find the kills. Hold on a second. Oh, the Eagles cleaning things up through the middle of the map, and they will take the opening offense. Just grit and determination. How about that? Get Oklahoma Christian going.
Yeah, exactly. Something to get them going, right? Just a bit of an energy boost. Something to try to keep them in this game, in this series. It starts round by round, and, well, that opening round was great. It was looking a little bit scary maybe for a moment. Frosty all the way in the back of Spa. He was doing a good job of staying alive, but his teammates struggled for so long to get out. But once they finally got inside of bedroom, they were able to finally clear everyone out. That was the big problem last time around when they played the hotel. It felt like there was always somebody that they just missed the timing on. But that time they get the job done. The stack is good, and they come alive in the first round.
Northwood's turn now. Straight towards B. No nonsense through the mid. A lot of this happening through bedroom side. Here comes the first play. Gus over the top gets the first. Cruz there to assist, but Cruz will fall. No one is checking for Dak. Uh-oh, not good news. Northwood already on with a double stack. The rest of the defense spawning way out towards the top right side of the map. Big top catwalk keeps mid safe. First tick lock, second on the way. Lock steps forward. Gus not in a position to challenge. That should surely be the second tick of progress. Frosty has to make this round happen for luggage. He's the only one who can really stop this.
Yep. Down low. Going to be able to find the first. Almost the second. Mock gets the trade, and, well, that looks like it's enough to get B. So Northwood able to respond with a very great opening themselves. Early 60 seconds secured, 2 life advantage. Now they can start working into A.
But Oklahoma Christian are in a really good setup right now as far as how do you defend A for 2+ minutes. This comes down to can they win the gunfights. Infinite, battle with Cruz, won by OC. Now you've got Frosty watching for this long wrap around through Chandelier. These nades are deep. They will not fully see Frosty. He gets the first and the second. Very well done. Okay, thing about it is, though, Oklahoma Christian's going to start spawning in a very bad spot. So now you have to hope the players on the zone can start to find the kills. Crew's going to be contested. Dak nearby, but as he keeps dancing with them, Dak wins the gunfight, and here comes Northwood.
And Northwood coming in. They haven't fully got kitchen control, though, so there's still a lot of flanks that can come in. Big win from Gus. Able to play his life, and likely will get the regen. And, well, it's a bit of a desperation that comes through for Northwood. They kind of throw themselves on the point before finding all the kills. Gus comes to the very back. That'll be a free pickup, and oh no, now you're starting to drop with numbers, and you can see the rest of Northwood trying to get their big trade from Bink.
Ray needs to find one off the zone here. He's playing still inside a kitchen. He's got a member who actually spawns nearby. Does he expect Mock to be here? Well, he hears him. That'll be good enough for the kill. That opens things up just a touch. First tick of progress will be locked. Frosty clearing things over towards Rugs. Gus getting in, contested the second tick of progress. This should be a clear,
They have a hard time. Bink's not actually on the zone. They don't know that Bink is still there because he wasn't in a contestable spot. They've lost him. And now Northwood have a chance to possibly pinch this. Ray doing what he can to hold on towards Kitchen. Lots of damage in, but the kill comes through. Now the eliminations happen, and wouldn't you know it, Bink does activate, gets the kill, stops the clock at 48 seconds.
Oh, Bink is set up to play, and Northwood are looking to feast now on the A point. Second tick slowly coming through, but Gus has a chance to play defense. Mock in the back, able to find a huge 1v1. Now you have to challenge the point. Ray is down. Cruz, the last one up, has to get through everybody on Northwood, and he is quickly dealt with. The stack is now in, and that should secure the round. That's the case. We are all tied up, one apiece.
Man, that's just a miscue on counting numbers, and that's a huge heads-up play, too, for what it's worth. Bink staying off the zone. The contest, the depletion comes through, and Bink is not going to allow anyone to know that he's there. So he stays alive behind that back booth. Then as soon as the hit from the front starts to garner the attention of the defense, he pops up, finds a kill, and completely breaks down the defense. It's a small kill, but an important kill. And Northwood now tie us up at 1 with their own offense. Both teams doing so by full capture with relatively even lives as well, mind you. That's something to tally as we get deeper and deeper into this control. But Oklahoma Christian right back to what they did in round number 1, but this time they've got the support of a trophy.
Heavy stack through mid, and oh, the kills are great right off the rip. They now have options in Frosty. He's going to clear out too, so 2 great engagements come through very early. That is going to open up for what looks to be a stack on A. They just want to get them in it as fast as possible. Cruz will try to play a bit of defense and simply watch that cross. We'll see if they decide to give it a go, but it feels like they won't get here in time. Very early minute up here for Oklahoma Christian.
And that's an interesting call because you still have 26 lives here for 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and often we don't see this happen with an offense finding success off the break towards A. Regularly, one player will stay there with 3 down. You'll try to win mid-map, win the backside of Chandelier, try to put some pressure on the defensive lives. That really wasn't the case, though. So 26 plays 25. Not a lot of ground to work with here for the Eagles at the moment, but at least they have some players that can threaten through mid.
Have to find that win. Ray won't be able to get his gun up in time. Mock able to hold on, and now Dak also in a key position. It's not just him. It's also Bink. A lot of problems here. Everyone's going to have to start to funnel through mid. We'll take a look to see what happens here with Infinite. He is on 5. Chance to try to earn the streak. Bink through the back. Northwood. Kills are looking solid, but Dak ready to line up the second. He is still alive and needs to play his life.
Ray jumps on the zone here, though. He's causing a lot of attention towards himself, and this player on the back may still be successful. Yeah, Ray bounces out. He gets spot control. That's not bad at all here for Oklahoma Christian. Cruz is also on 3. Infinite's still searching for kill number 6 as he plays to the top side of bedroom. Frosty on the hunt. Infinite does get the Cruz missile, but Ray's still on the zone, and he keeps pulling attention his way. Finally, Dak will jump forward, get the kill, and, well, the awareness that Cruz is playing in the back has also now been known. Mock through mid, overwhelmed, and Oklahoma Christian are going to go meet up with Cruz as they try to play around the back again.
They're heavily stacked inside of bedroom at the moment. Bink's the only one that's really outside of it, playing inside of couches. Cruz finds another one onto Mock. Mock is now going to spawn very far away. This looks like a good moment here for OC to try to get some numbers onto the point, but they have to get great reads and great predictions up top. Well, the kills just have not come through, have they? Infinite is still alive, and he is now up to 7 in a row.
It's just so hard to flush him out of this position. He's so quick. Does he get a cue here that Gus is nearby? Well, that Semtex and stun definitely gives him the idea. Time running out. First pick, not fully captured. Frosty tried to get it done himself, but no, pushed away. 18 seconds. 16 plays 12. A little bit of space here at mid-map for the Eagles to work with. This has to work, though. You don't have a lot of time to work all the way around the back. Dak here to watch it, but he gets overwhelmed. Too many members to deal with. Infinite next one up. Semtex helps out. Gus, lots of damage in. Not a lot of time on the clock. Frosty will touch. Mock clears in. No, they will not be able to get back on to try to extend the round a little further. Defense prevails for Northwood. They're now on championship point.
Little intense when you put it like that, but is it ever the truth? Championship point here, and I mean, Infinite, it felt like he was alive inside a bedroom for the entirety of the round. Went on a 7 spree, certainly was alive for a minute and a half, just constantly in the bedroom. And it wasn't just him, right? Last time around, it felt like OC did a really good job of finding the kills, stopping Dak from hitting that catwalk route that he loves to throw in. And once they find those kills, that's how they get onto the zone. They never could. Northwood, they play their lives beautifully. And as you say, they can get it done right here on the attack.
Focus over towards B once again. This time, though, Dak gets flat out dominated through mid. 3 different Eagles members are looking at him. But you've got an opportunity here to actually open the door with, again, utility from Northwood. Gus gets overwhelmed. It's a full team wipe. Northwood could stack this early. 3 members will be on. The 4th to join. First tick done. 2nd on the way. Dak gonna play the heady right on top of the staircase. Sees Ray on the cross. Decent damage coming through, but no, they're not gonna get her to contested time. Only 1 life will drop as Northwood have 2 minutes and 3 seconds to play for A and win themselves the 2023 season.
Have to be a little bit careful sending too many members forward. And, well, you have to track names. Last time it was Bink that opened it up with a prone position through the back. They lost track of him, and he punished him for it. Minute 45 to play defense to try to get us to around number 5. Dak is now just opened up with a great kill on the Cruz. Here comes the push. Here comes the coordination.
Ray's got to try to find something here to back alley. He does get the first, but does get traded away. Frosty trying to hold on, but has to value his life. 2 members on. First tick will be gone. 26 also playing 21. Just keep that in the back of your mind. As Frosty's looking to try to do something. That's your teammate! Frosty, no! Not like this! Cruise missile called in! That may be the final finale on it, and yep, sure looks that way. Northwood Esports will go back-to-back as College Con champions. Tally up 2 rings for Bink and Infinite as well. Clean 3-0. Northwood on top of the College Con scene.
On top of College Con, Allen, and they did it convincingly. Frustrating moment at the end. Oklahoma Christian, they give us some magic down in the lower final, but they run out of gas. They can't get through Northwood as they get themselves the massive dub, a huge chip, and as you say, they go back to back.
Wow. And there's never a question, not a single moment throughout this entire weekend where Northwood were really even tested for that matter. They never had to play Fisher. I don't even know if it would have made much of a difference, though. These guys were playing literally perfect COD all weekend long. And, again, the names on paper, I think, for all of you that are tuning in, this is your first time watching the season, you think, oh, these guys should be rolling. But this Oklahoma Christian team went flawless throughout their regular season. Fisher did the exact same thing in their region. I thought for sure that we were going to be in a playoff bracket that was going to at least see some tests come through. But this Northwood team, that's the best COD we've seen out of them as a collective for all year long, without question.
Yes, it certainly is. When these guys get to LAN, they just tend to kick it up. And not just that, but when they get to, like, those grand finals, those matches where everything is on the line, it feels like they just start to hit a different level. And, well, they certainly elevated here as all the maps were not even close. I mean, 100-point club map won, 6-1 victory. Felt like we were in Asilo Search Destroy for 6 minutes, if that. Fast rounds. Coordination again, completely on point. So much trust. You know, for a team that plays with a lot of other challenger players in the Tier 2 scene, it feels like these guys have been playing together for a very long time with the way that they can trust in one another. I mean, their system, again, I feel like is fantastic with the way that Bink and Mock like to play off of the subs, creating space, doing the objective work, letting these guys fly, letting them roam. Do they ever fly, Allen? Holy.
Yeah, I'll say. Wow. Unbelievable stuff here. Northwood, they have been on top of the collegiate esports scene generally now for the last 2 years, but here in College COD, I mean, last year they were met with fame and radio on the team with Bink and Infinite. They put together a hell of a season, beating that Fisher team in the grand finals. Ottawa was in the mix as another real big opponent. And, well, you can kind of see it, just another day at the office here for Northwood. Right? Finishing off the season as your 2023 champions. And like we said, it's just there was never a doubt.
It really wasn't. Fortunately, OC, very frustrated. I mean, how can you not be with the way that you just came off of that loser's final? And I think maybe a lot of people were like, okay, maybe that does something, but it's the map ones that determine everything, I think, especially when you get into a series like this. If you can't grab a hard point off of Northwood, it just feels like it's almost impossible to beat them. And, well, they don't drop hard points, that is for sure. Wow, man. Just looking at that final graphic is just terrifying when we get to the score lines. But, I mean, from top to bottom, pick a name. Everyone stepped up. Everyone did their job.
22-11 from Infinite's easy to look at, double positive. So only 4 kills go traded. And that's the biggest thing is just that there was not a trade anywhere on the server.
Exactly.
I mean, the entirety throughout these 3 maps. So we'll see it once more here. 250-71. 6-1 search, 3-1 control. Wow. That is a statement. And I know there's already been a lot of conversations about people that have, wanted to join into the college COD scene, the recruitment that's going on across the collegiate board. I'll tell you, if you're someone out there who runs a program and you're trying to beat these guys, good luck.
I mean, yeah, like who else do you look towards, right? Holy, gonna have to get some ex-professionals on some of those rosters if you're gonna have a chance to take those guys down, man. I mean, incredible stuff. Again, going through this weekend, never a doubt, very convincing. I think at times maybe let up off the gas, but they'd always lock it right back in immediately after.
Well, with that said, that concludes the gameplay, but we do have the championship reactions and trophy ceremony with Proper down on the floor to celebrate the win for Northwood.
Thank you, boys, so much. Wonderful cast as always. I am joined on the floor with Northwood. The Timberwolves go back-to-back. They do it again. And beside me are actually the two-time champions themselves. Well, congratulations to you, boys. First and foremost, got to go ahead and give you what is rightfully yours, and that is going to be the championship trophy. Son of Payton's got that within his hands, and honestly speaking, I don't know who wants to hold that thing. Be careful, Nando. That thing is heavy. Yeah, it's got some weight behind it, brother. And honestly speaking, it was so well-deserved. I think it was pretty much already a given. You guys came into this. You guys were the best team. Be honest with me, Dak. How easy was it?
Very.
Quick, easy, to the point. Well, that brings us at least to the next person in line. And, well, I got to be honest, Bink. I don't think that there would be any other person that is rightfully deserving the two-time individual. You did it last year with a couple different individuals. You and Nando come back into it. Congratulations, Bink. As our 2023 CCL, you are the MVP, brother. You absolutely put on an electric performance. Yeah, clap it up. Got a T-shirt. Everything, yeah, it's kind of big. That thing actually goes hard.
I mean, I might need to beat you.
Do it. A little bit big. I might have to put it in the washer once or two times. But honestly speaking, going back-to-back, the MVP, you had a Herculean performance throughout the entirety of the week. What does this mean for you?
Everything. I mean, it's cool seeing my parents watch and everything, and winning for Cody again, and for ourselves and Evan, and it's, it's good. It's nice. It's fun.
Nando, that brings us over to you, brother. First of all, how heavy is that thing?
Pretty heavy.
I couldn't agree more. And for you as an individual itself, I mean, you had a crazy wild ride through the entirety of the season. And I don't just mean through college itself. I also mean through challengers and through everything else included in between all of this. This is the end of the road, man. How does it feel to go out on a high note?
It feels great. When you have great teammates, everything's easy.
He's gonna bring a tear to our eyes. Brownie points? All right, hey man, he's making brownie points with everybody watching at home as well. Mock, bro, I don't even know where to start with you, man. Like you have had a crazy up and down through the entirety of the season. I even made this call on broadcast as well. You have to be one of the most steady, slow, but yet fast ARs I swear I have ever commentated across the entirety of the year. You come into Northwood this year, you join the likes of both Nando and Bink, and get a Dak on your team as well. I mean, for you as an AR player, how was this entire ride for you through the entirety of the year?
Honestly, it was pretty fun because I get to play with other people from other teams, so I get to learn a lot too at the same time as playing, and I just get to play more COD, so kind of the best thing.
Go to college, play COD. Honestly speaking, I don't know what else you could possibly ask for when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, you guys were able to make the run happen. Would you guys only drop like 2, maybe 3 maps? I lost count because you guys were just quickly wow. So difficult for you guys. Unbelievable. I mean, especially for you. I mean, you guys are headed towards Vegas at the end of the road as well. I mean, you guys
Back to enemies.
back to being enemies on the other side of the road as well. Well, honestly, I think the only thing that's left to honestly be said is that we got Jason, Son of Pain. He's got some closing remarks that ended up telling you guys and everything else as well. So, Jason, without further ado, take it away.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's come out and been a part of this. Staff, players, teams, coaches, directors, production, talent. Y'all make what we do possible. This is for you guys. This is for the community. Thank you all. Congrats, you guys. The first back-to-back school, 2 more back-to-back champion players joining your teammate from last year. So congratulations, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Easy peasy, no problems. I mean, it just felt like it wasn't even a final for those Northwood boys.
Yeah.
I mean, straight domination start to finish. So with that, now we take a tally over how things unfolded across all of the 8 teams that were here to begin the weekend. Because the prize, it was $40,000. It wasn't even just the trophy at the end. It started with group play, though. Our top 3 teams were able to extend it in towards bracket play. So we had to say farewell to both New Mexico State and Davenport. But New Mexico State, you got to admire the run that they went on to even get the LAN in the first place.
Absolutely. I mean, they had to go on a heck of a run. They also, I believe, grabbed a map off of Northwood. I think they took that control 3-1 too, right?
Yeah.
So something to take away from the weekend. Not easy to ever grab a map after Northwood after, drop 2, I think they said there. So,
yeah.
I mean, incredible stuff for them. I think a lot of credit over, to St. Edwards as well. They also had a battle just to get here. They had to go through 3 best-of-5s all going the distance in map number 5. So they had to ice up just to see LAN here as well.
Well, with that, our top 2 teams were seeded into the upper bracket, where our teams in the groups that finished third were dropped down to lower round 1 to start. And, well, I'll tell you, that Oklahoma Christian and Fisher Esports game provided. That went all the way to 5, and it was electric from start to finish. Even the University of North America put up a heck of a fight versus that Northwood team. The maps were relatively close and even coming away with one of the map woods themselves. But as we dropped down to the lower bracket, it would be St. Edwards and St. Clair to finish in top 6. Immediately afterwards, Fisher really didn't have many problems with the Dragons. We thought that maybe the series would probably be some level of competitive, if not really tight, maybe even having a chance to go to 5. That wasn't the case, so the Dragons will finish in 4th. Fisher Esports not quite able to pull off the reverse sweep, take 3rd, and then, of course, we saw what happened in the grand final.
Yeah, exactly. We saw what happened in the grand finals. Fisher Esports going all the way, but not enough. Trying to get through Oklahoma Christian, getting the best of them in 2 map 5s. But, I mean, that one's really going to sting, I think, for them, especially on how that ends. A 5-2 comeback just to get the grand final. It's not enough to get through Northwood, obviously. And then we take a look at the final prizing coming on in, $16,000 for first place. We see Oklahoma finish out with 2nd. They get a humble $8,000. And then as we go through, you can see all the results. I think the biggest one, though, again, the Dragons getting 4th, walking away with $4,000, I think.
Not bad. Not bad at all for a first-time representative of the College COD scene. Mexico State also joined us for the first time on LAN. Everyone else were repeat performers here on this Columbus LAN here at the Belong Arenas. But with that in mind, that takes us now to our close on the 2023 College COD season. Northwood University, your champions. Oklahoma Christian coming up a very steady 2nd as runner-ups. But as we already kind of heard for Son of Paint, I want to give a big thank you out to all of you guys in the community that have been helping put together the College COD community over the course of the last handful of years. And, of course, one final shout-out to both Fandom and Nelnet Bank for coming through and helping us make all of this possible. Again, if you're looking to get involved and you want to try to set up your financial future for college, make sure you check out Nelnet Bank, member FDIC, at nelnetbank.com. If you want to recap over the action that happened through regionals and playoffs and things like that, you can catch all of the recaps and the scoreboards and stuff on Fandom. So big shout out to the sponsors. But with that, we say farewell and adieu until we see you guys at Vegas for not just Challengers Finals, but of course also the CDL Championship. Till that point, make sure you guys out there keep holding it down. Bye-bye.